It's the Morgan Schinlever Show.
Bulldog fans, let me introduce you to your auto sponsor, Beatty Chevrolet. What vehicle would you like to trade into in the next few months? Let's start looking for it now. I'm going to show you how. Go to BeattyChevrolet.com and click Contact Beatty Chevrolet. Tell them what you want. The friendly staff will keep you updated on what they find. They won't fill your inbox with junk. This is business the way it ought to be done. That's the Beatty Chevrolet way. Visit Beatty Chevrolet online right now.
Well, welcome to the Morgan Schinlever Show. I'm Victor Lee, and we are talking about the Bearden Bulldogs at the halfway mark of the regular season. You're 3-2. What do you know about your football team halfway through?
Well, we're a very resilient team. One of the high sides of being at the halfway point of the season is we're very healthy still. We got some minor bumps and bruises, but nothing substantial. But I think the biggest thing that we can build off is we've got a very resilient football team in the fact that each day we're coming into work, no matter the situation that we're facing that week, and we proved that Friday night.
Indeed. You've been developing a lot of good talent. Tell me what you really like. Halfway through, I'm sure you had hopes for where you would be developmentally. Mm-hmm. Are you where you wanted to be in terms of the talent on the field?
I believe so. We still need young guys and older guys alike that'll step up, that maybe not have been in one of those larger roles so far this season, and start emerging. The same thing happened last year. We got to the halfway point going into district play, and we had some guys that had kind of been some unsung heroes take on more of that larger leadership role in the back half of the season, and it turned into a successful run in district play last year. So we need that same thing to happen this year, and I've been talking to the guys about that.
Now, last year you got to this point, and then you beat 3 ranked teams in a row. Not necessarily expected. Nobody really had any idea what to expect from you. Do you think that helps the team mentally this year? They know how they finished last year, and you arguably have more talent than you did last year.
Well, I think the biggest thing, looking at this next half of our schedule, and being able to also reflect on last year, is our kids do know how to win. I mean, we were in a lot of tight ball games last year. Already been in a couple tight ones this year.
Right.
So they understand what it takes to push forward, and they understand that in our district, it's any given Friday night, a team could win. So with that in their mind, that's very reassuring to know as a coach.
Sure. And they talk about any given Friday night, and that's you certainly need them to believe that on any given day they can win because you play Maryville.
Yes, absolutely.
Talk about the whole mentality there. Maryville's been on top for so long that it's assumed Maryville just beats the daylights out of everybody, and they pretty well have over the years. So how do you mentally approach with your team playing Maryville?
I think the biggest thing you approach is you approach it not just going over there to compete, not just going over there to put forth a good solid effort. You go over there and approach it like as a game you're winning, that you anticipate winning. In the past, we've been around football teams that have played Maryville, and that's their number one goal is to go over there and just, hey, we just want to go compete with these guys and use that as a measuring stick.
Don't get beat too bad.
Right, and that's not the mentality you want as a competitor. It's not the mentality you want as a player or a coach. And so we're going at this game as this is something we're looking to go win. We feel like that we are no longer in the process of establishing ourselves as a football program. We're in the process of we are a quality football program, but we are still growing. And the next step is going over there and really pushing teams like Maryville to say, hey, if you're going to win against us, you're going to have to earn every bit of it.
Right. So somebody's got to beat them sometime. You figure it might as well be Bearden Friday night?
Why not? Why not?
Okay, great. Talk about Maryville. Now, you've looked at them on film, of course, very carefully. What have they got?
Well, one of the things that they are always good at is they're very consistent in their scheme and their players. They're very well coached. They play exceptionally hard. One of their strongest points this year is their offense and defensive line. They've got some good size, and they got kids that move well. So we're going to have to win the line of scrimmage if we're going to have an opportunity. On the perimeter, they are very sound fundamentally. They don't have that guy that just kind of is that wow factor. Their middle linebacker is out this week. I think he's got some injuries that he's recovering from.
Minor knee surgery last 3 weeks, I think. Yes.
So that's a very talented individual right there. On the offensive side of the ball, they're returning their quarterback who does a really good job of managing their offense. And they've got about 2 to 3 really solid running backs. They're not exactly what I would consider elusive running backs, but they're kids that run really, really hard. They're kids that have good speed, and they will make you pay if you try arm tackling them. and they're good sized kids. They have been in the weight room for sure. They do have a very, very talented tight end. I anticipate him possibly being a guy that plays on Saturdays, as his opportunities come. So we've got to make sure we know where he's at all times, because he can definitely take it to the house if given an opportunity.
Sure. What's the biggest improvement you're looking for? What do you need to do better than you've done to win a ball game?
I think we've got to be disciplined, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We can't try to do too much. We've got to do our responsibilities and play fundamental football from that standpoint. And Maryville, because they are so methodical in what they do, they cause you to get impatient and try to do things more than you're supposed to do on that given play, which then allows them to get bigger plays and chunk yardage. From an offensive standpoint, we've got to step up on the offensive line. We've been a young, growing group all year. And now that we're getting into the district play of our season, the heavy load, we've got to make sure that we are developing, and we're developing quickly, and we're being very fundamental in how we're developing. I think skill position wise, we match up well on the perimeter. I would take our kids against anybody's collectively. So our guys on the perimeter have got to show up and perform and play consistent. But it's one of those things where they're going to expose your weaknesses. So you better make sure that you've done your due diligence to prepare yourself.
Right. Now you're playing a freshman quarterback.
Yes.
I trust a couple of games in, he's less freshman than he was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you said they expose your weaknesses. Certainly his talent is not a weakness, and his mind isn't a weakness, but he is a freshman. Do you expect them to bring more blitzes or do mix up things on coverages? Do you think they try to mess with the mind of a freshman?
They line up and play very sound fundamental football. They do some things where they roll some coverages based off of what the offenses have done. We've seen on film. I don't think that they're going to bring a whole lot of pressure because they are a very talented group. They believe we line up and play responsibility football and be fundamentally sound, especially in the run game. So they force you to kind of beat yourself. So we can't do that. We've got to make sure that we don't get rattled by Maryville. And anything that they might do to us, but I don't anticipate them doing a whole lot different than what we've seen on film. They just do what they do really, really well.
Sure. Colin developing well. You feel like his mental game's coming along good?
Yeah, he is a freshman, so there's always a learning curve that you deal with there. But last week was a great learning opportunity, not just for him but for the whole team. So we pull from that and we move to the next game.
Great. All right. Thanks, Coach.
No problem.
All
Take care.